Hi, dear friends. We are back in a new year, 2025, and Happy New Year,
Happy New
everybody.
Year.
With the book?
Message from a teen in the spirit world
Yes, by the medium?
by the Spirit Neio Lucio.
Yes, and the medium Chico Xavier.
Yes.
Okay, and let us just recap this beautiful book that is written in a letter form
For his
by,
brother.
yes, by the spirit Carlos to his brother. What is his brother's name? Can you remember?
No, he has a very long name.
His name is, let's see, leave it. Okay. Um,
Okay.
Carlos, writing his letter for Dercio.
Lucio.
Dercio, I think that's how you say the name.
Yes.
Okay, and then he's telling his brother about his discarnation, his dying process, and then what he saw and how he was helped and taken to the spiritual realm, and how his mother's um, cry influenced his feelings in his spiritual body, and then his aunts and family reuniting with everybody, and then also the doctor. The chapter of the doctor was last week, and the doctor didn't prescribe any medicine, but he should um, change his thoughts, focus on good things, and that is a great lesson for all of us. Also, what we've learned so far is that everything we think and feel affects others.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it helps us in knowing how to change our feelings and our thoughts so it's good things going out. So the next chapter is
The village.
yes.
I remained for a few days in the hospital bed, under the care of my family.
Troublesome,
Troublesome,
dominating,
dominating my mind. Our cousin Antonio didn't stay more than one day at my bedside. He was
enrolled,
enrolled in an
an internship,
at the children's complex and had to get back to his studies. However, the doctor visited me every day for the next 2 weeks until I left my room, feeling better and ready to go,
despite
despite still being a bit weak. Grandma,
Adelia,
Grandma Adelia and Aunt Eunice were visibly
satisfied,
and
helped,
helped me with my first steps outside. Oh, what joy! Only then did I see that both lived in a charming and
inviting,
house. After going down a short hallway, I came to a
spacious,
spacious, well
furnished.
room. I suppose
I stopped,
I stopped and wondered at the light-filled doorway,
connecting,
connecting the room to the outside. A whole new world was
unveiled,
to my sight. The
surrounding,
landscape was lovely and
extraordinary.
extraordinary. Beautiful houses similar to ours, although much nicer, were all
Lined,
up gracefully and charmingly in rows. All of them were
surrounded,
surrounded by small or large gardens linked together by
pleasant looking
looking.
orchids.
I concluded that a lush plant all
Receive
the same care given to the flowers. Flocks of
brilliantly feathered,
brilliantly feathered birds
crisscrossed.
crisscrossed happily in the sky. A peacefulness unknowing on earth, however, in the
Atmosphere.
atmosphere. A
I
high,
breathed
long
draughts
of the pure light air. Grandma Andelia's house is
surrounded
by different colored, but mostly red flowers, which lent
garden
a,
an
an aspect
aspect
to
of permanent joy.
Grandma said that Aunt Eunice had organized the planting and had
And
which flowers to grow. Of course, no, if they were like those we have on Earth. Roses
carnations,
and
forget-me-nots,
but most display
differences.
differences that I cannot describe.
Yes.
Between the garden and the
Orchids,
at Grandma's house, for
example,
there are two
trellises.
trellises
Yes.
covered with a vine whose seeds I would love to send to Mom. This elegant plant sent out long, fancy runners covered with dark green leaves,
Amongst
which bloom tiny
abundant blossoms,
of white,
petals laced with red,
giving off a delightful aroma. In fact, the runners of leaves and flowers are so
fragrant,
fragrant and beautiful that I don't have anything for comparison.
Yes.
To be honest, I could never have imagined there was such a beautiful place after death. In light,
Of my display of amazement.
Grandma explained that there were other
Regions
that were even more beautiful, but that that they could only be
entered
entered by
sanctified souls.
who had used all their time on earth to
Practice
goodness.
Yes. Okay, this again is a beautiful chapter, and we have learned a lot today.
Yes,
Yes, what have we learned, you think?
a lot.
About what?
About his explaining.
About the flowers?
Yeah, very much beautiful flowers. And he said a lot of detail about the flowers, actually.
Yes, and the whole landscape and the air. And he says you can feel the peace in there.
Yeah.
So he says his grandma's house was surrounded by roses, so they get to choose what they can plant around. Then he's also explaining to us that his grandmother is telling him that there is another place that's even more beautiful. And he's trying to compare with Earth. And it shows that the energy of love and peace makes these flowers also in such a beautiful, blooming way, because it is. They describes it as this beautiful flowers. And the pure air and the happiness felt and the peace felt. And this is how Earth will be one day.
Yes.
Yes, it will be peaceful and beautiful. And I think there is still a lot of flowers to be discovered.
Yes.
Yes, I think so, yes. But this shows us that it's the same as on Earth, just more pretty.
Yes.
Yes, there is houses. He has explained that there is houses. He has explained that there is flowers, that there's air, pure air to breathe in.
Light
That
air.
you can feel the peace there. So it's the same as on Earth.
Yes.
Even more beautiful, because in the beginning of the book he explains the room is the same as well.
Yes.
Yes, with all this simplicity. Everybody used very much simplicity there. And how beautiful is that? So this chapter shows us that there's homes there.
Yes.
And there is gardens. And it's actually the same as here. Okay, and then he's talking about this beautiful garden that only pure, sanctified souls that practice goodness can enter.
Yes.
Because I think it's all in our vibration. Because we affect each other and even plants. Because we know if we looked at science, our thoughts have consequences and goes out and affect plants and water, the water experiments. So I think if we look at that and we learn the simplest things here on earth, we can see that our thoughts and actions affects everything around us.
Yes.
Yes, I think so too. And then there's one thing that's very important. He says that he struggled with his thoughts. And these thoughts, when he overcomes it, he feels good. But if he doesn't, he struggles, then he doesn't feel good. So in this book, especially until now, shows us one thing. Think the good.
Think the good.
Speak the good. Like
And
Emmanuel
do the
says in Thought and Life. And mold the good with all the resources that we can get. So that we can give out this good, because this is how important it is for everything, even all the plants and animals. Thank you so much. This was a beautiful chapter. We can't wait to read the next one.
Yes.
But we'll
Can't
see
wait.
each other next week. Thank you so much for joining us, beloved friends. Have a very blessed 2025. May God be with us so that we can spread this beautiful news of Spiritism. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.